What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at player moments, Sergio Busquets. So I knew this one was coming. You could just tell. They love doing these players that have got very minimum speed. Cruz is another fantastic one, and they love upping him. I have kind of like been seeing around Twitter that actually the 80 pace does increase, like in terms of actually really is noticeable, because this is a whopping 38 pace increase from his 87, and obviously he's looking relatively good. Like if you take the base stats, he genuinely looks like a really nice card. This is probably one of the first times that you can whack a shadow on this card and he'll have 90 pace. That is absolutely phenomenal from him. So it's going to be an interesting one. Another really big difference. He is a 3-star, but they've increased his work rates from a medium to a defensive high and an attacking medium. That is really good for the CDM role. He's going to be literally center stage of that CDM role. Trait wise, we've just got team player, but obviously in terms of his stats, then if you do whack a shadow on him, it turns him up to a 92 rated player with 90 pace and 95 defending. Obviously he's already a big tackler of the game, and that's just kind of what it shows. Composure wise, it's fantastic. Even with the increase of his agility balance, let me just see what the difference actually was. He got an increase of 30 balance and 16 agility. I feel like that will still feel rigid. Like it'll still feel like he's a little bit bulky, because that's purely animations, and agility balance does help with that, but because he's already quite a blocky player, I feel like that will still be there, but he will be faster on his movements. So I'm interested. That's personally what I've been hearing from reviews. Obviously the physicality of him is quite nice. 81, 87 on the strength and aggression. Stamina's decent. Defending in general, especially with the shadow, is already brilliant. Reactions, ball control, all nice. He's never been one to shy away from being on the ball. It's kind of just the movements off that really got people off this card. And then obviously the 80 pace as well is a very nice increase to the card. He is coming in at about 166 on the Xbox and 175 on the PlayStation. Just 185 rated squad, but in the time of where we don't have no upgrades, it's a little bit tricky. So he does expire on the 22nd, which is a good 7 days yet, so there more than likely will be an upgrade pack from then. So I would suggest straight off the bat, rather than wasting your coins on the 82 to 88, just wait till then and then finish this card. So let's just jump in, see what Busquets is all about. Into Busquets, see what he's all about, bringing the ball forward. He's always had relatively kind of nice ball control, and really kind of just defensive awareness. That's a beautiful pass. Nearly. But in terms of kind of like defending, he's always been top class. It literally is just his movements that have been the kind of letdown factor in this card. So I'm hoping if the pace genuinely has really kind of upped that much, then this genuinely could be a really nice card. And especially being 90 rated, he joins the 90 rated club. So far passing is pretty much as standard as what it always has been. Get a little flick on the go. It does feel not necessarily kind of like bulky, but still on that kind of like takes a little bit to turn kind of movement. And I think, oh, that's bad. That's just Cantona not sticking a leg out. But I was kind of expecting that from him anyway. His animations just scream that they literally are bulky, because that's just what he is in game and always has been, really. See it into Busquets. Go across. That's a beautiful pass. Weighted lovely. Obviously, we've got a guy injured over there, so it may have kind of helped with the through ball, but it's a lovely ball. What is Ronaldo doing? We find Cantona is in De Bruyne, and he goes for the shot. Oh, it's a great save from Ter Stegen. Lovely play. Obviously, passing is going to be Busquets, is one of his main attributes on the card. Obviously, defensive ability is pretty nice as well. I found not really too much happening just yet in terms of attack, because he seems to want to always run with this guy. I think the perfect place is to play Busquets where he kind of is now, holding that defensive mid role. Personally, I don't a great challenge. Personally, I don't like playing like a step into, what is it, a in between the defenders, where he kind of plays almost as like a fifth centre back. I don't really like playing that, but he kind of takes the role with that attacking, that high defensive work rate already kind of like on his toe. So if they are pushing really far into your box, he will slip in as a really heavy DM. Otherwise, he's kind of like chilling just outside the halfway line, which you can see here if we highlight him here. Just here's where he'll sit as you're attacking, which means you can get to almost most of the players if they do decide to kind of go across box. Obviously, as you can see there, dropping in between, and he's just chilling up here. We get a nice little ball into him. He can then play it across. He can then push forward. There's plenty of options. Obviously, with his passing ability, it's a great interception from Pogba. With his passing ability, you're going to be loving how many through balls he will be able to do. And even if it is just that and you don't necessarily run too much, you've got a perfect outlet for a very, very good passer of the ball. And even if you just kind of put him literally as a DM, don't even bring him forward. You can't even don't acknowledge that he's there. Other than when you're defending, he'll sit lovely on that DM role. The only problem I have personally with Busquets is the fact that he's 160k, and yet Kante will definitely do a better job, or at least have more. It's more confidence in the player. I feel like Busquets, even with this upgrade, you'll still be thinking of the old Busquets. And yes, he does feel faster. I can definitely confirm that. It's not like lightning speed, but I mean, as in he definitely feels better than his 40-something pace he previously had. And he's got, I thought that was Busquets, and great Carlos Alberto challenge. Busquets sees it out nicely, and we go for this counter. And even if you do see that pace increase, Kante's kind of already there, and I really like his gold card. And literally, it's coming in at about 60k at the moment. So it's literally half the price for a French nationality. Obviously, that's always a big win, and a better Prem player. So for me, it depends on, really, is he your link? A lot of people have got a lot of different nationalities in their team, and that could be the link that's missing. A nice DM Spanish player. We did get Kappa, who was quite a nice DM, but not everybody got him. He wasn't objective, so there is only a select few that probably did miss out on him. But it depends on if you need him linking. If you need him linking, then that's fair enough. But Kante, for me, is a better overall already. Busquets running down a wing. You'd never hear that normally. Go the little 1-2. Mane's seeing him. See him back. Oh, we see a beautiful ball to Mane. Oh, why did I go with a finesse? I'm so used to going with a finesse shot for some reason. Busquets seeing it out. Going for the long ball. It's a bit too long. Busquets seeing it out again. Constantly on the ball, which is always nice from him. I feel like I used his gold card to start with as almost like a, not even like a troll, but just to see if he was literally anything more than fodder. And that card was slow, like I've never seen. Like even Cruz feels fast in comparison. That's a cracking through ball. But in terms of this card, I'm pleasantly surprised to see the pace increase. Obviously, the passing wise, you can just see from that is absolutely outstanding. Very much kind of like not even a Pirlo pass, but just a nice pass in general, to be fair to him. And we do see him constantly just chilling here. Very, very confident. And every pass I'm getting, I'm feeling more and more confident with the card. Into Busquets. Oh, he makes him look silly, doesn't he? Lovely little flare pass. Ronaldo. What can he do? We're going to find him back round. Can he get the little dink? And it's a beautiful first goal coming from an assist from big boy Busquets. He's becoming quite a main part of the team, to be fair with him. He's very easy to play with. He seems like he's doing the job. Don't know how much he would actually fare against foot champs. That could be a different ball game, as I feel like you do not necessarily need agile players, but to kind of really fit in with the elite, you definitely need somebody who's going to really put that kind of agility side of it. And again, you could just go for fun. I feel like that is a big thing this game, and I'm trying not to take the meta too seriously now, because I feel like this game has gone past that point that pretty much every game mode is competitive, and that is a real annoying thing. A good thing from Busquets, though, if you are still listening, I've not just jumped straight over to the end review, is his high defensive work rate. That's got to be a goal. That's a cracking one from Roberto Carlos. Lovely pack yesterday, but the high defensive work rate is a massive, massive plus for Busquets. So if we do look at Busquets' overall then, so as we can have a look at, we've got 163k, 174 Xbox. Let's have a quick look at this SBC. Honestly, it's not it's not necessarily a bad SBC in terms of price. I feel like that one was loyalty, actually. Let's just go back. We want one without loyalty, just because then we're assuming. Let's have a quick look. So I wish there was an option to get rid of loyalty. So this guy has got it. So what has he done? 88, 87, because we just use fodder in the club. That's normally what you do. You're best to just kind of scrap people's, like, you wouldn't go for this, basically. You wouldn't go and think, okay, so I need Munier, Hradecky, Sancho, because they're going to be inflated, or might be inflated. It just depends on what sort of SBC. This one I can imagine might be okay, just because I don't feel like there's not hundreds of people rushing to do this SBC. But what you've got to keep in mind is there's an icon pack out, or at least 2 icon packs out if they haven't been done yet. One's repeatable, one's not, so that's already going to have an effect of the market. But I feel like it's kind of not slowly coming down, but it's kind of really balancing itself out. We had the massive spike, and now it's slowly becoming like no one's really panicking over it. We've still got 10 days of it. So this is like kind of like one of the setups that a lot of people do nowadays. They go for really high rated players, and then they can literally just put fodder players around them. As you can see, like, you're looking at a couple of K per one, bar from these 3, which are going to be the main expensive ones. So you're looking at a good 100k, and then more than likely you've got a few 83, 82s in around the club, so they're easy normally to pick up, really. And all you're looking for is a couple of strong links. Odegaard may be a tricky one just because he is at Arsenal, so that one may have gone up in price depending on how recent that refresh is. But in terms of Busquets, I was heavily surprised by the pace. I think I saw this one come out and EA tweeted it. I thought straight away, well, he's not gonna feel like that. Normally no player really feels the massive pace increase, especially when it's a massive 38 increase. That is incredible. Like, I don't think we've seen that big of a pace increase on someone like a gold card, especially an 87 rated gold card as well. But in terms of the pace, it's nice. Like, it is decent. It is better for him. Still feels that little bit blocky. Feel like that's mainly the animations. But then you do have the high defensive work rate, which is a great bonus, because there's very few CDMs with a high medium or a high low. So that is a perfect one right there. I feel like you could probably name some of, I'm talking big players as well, not just like your common golds, your rare gods. I'm talking like special cards in the 85, 87 pluses. I feel like Vieira has it as well. I may be wrong on that one. But in terms of a shadow, I feel like it is the best option. You do need that plus 10 as well. That will be massively important to really capitalize on that pace increase. Defending is immaculate. Really, really nice. He's quite a big player at 6'2", so he does reach quite across the pitch, to be honest. And his passing was lovely. 92 short, 86 long. I genuinely thought both of them were way over the 90s with how well that ball was being played. Physical wise, didn't really notice him getting knocked off the ball too much. Doesn't really have too much competition in terms of a cam, because normally they are the smaller players. So realistically, they do have less strength or less aggression as such to get the ball back off him. But to be honest, his little turning is nice. If you can time it right, he is a decent card. Overall wise, I'm going to give him an 8.8. And I think that is, I feel like I'm being generous to some extent, but I feel like he's earned it as well. In terms of Busquets, because he is 32 now. We have had him right from the back in FIFA 10, which is incredible to see. He's been an 89 before, obviously in FIFA 13, and he's slowly crept up and up and up until he did reach, I think, a peak in FIFA 19, and literally the past 3 years, bar from this year, he has been an 89, and then now he's slowly dropping down as we get him into kind of like his end of era as such. I'm just interested on his come up. Does he have any pace? No, I didn't think he did. He normally is a relatively slow player. Let's just go back a little bit further. No, he literally was slow from day one. Now we've got one test here. Oh, we had 72, so he did have a little bit of pace, like literally 10 years ago, 11 years ago, which is just insane. But his 90 rated card, a 90 player, that's all you've got to think. If you're doing league SBCs or upgrades or stuff like that to get it done, then obviously you can get it done relatively cheap. Bronze, silver to gold to upgrades. I personally would probably go for an icon over him, but it all depends on what this guy means to your team. Plenty of links. He is obviously a Spanish player in La Liga, so he's got plenty of links to go with there. Overall, I think he's an alright player. Would I kind of tell you to go to him? more than likely not. I'd save the coins. We've got FUT birthday around the corner, and we know there's going to be some really good players there to kind of double down on not having a promo this week. So it's going to be a very interesting one. Let me know down below if you're going to be finishing Sergio Busquets' player moments. But for now, like and subscribe. Pieces.